Well, let's go ahead and jump into the three things that we were going to discuss, and I'll speak on each of these. And the three things that we are going to discuss, and I might even share this. It's not exactly a PowerPoint, but let me pop this on so you can peek at it. It's on our little thing right here. Here we go. Let's give this super large on our screen. Hello. Email ecology and self-filming, heart-centered online listening, plus using user feedback to shape and create your online courses and content creation. But I think what is actually a better way to say this is what's in the description of this video that you have now. And that is the email ecology. Let's start with this. So with email ecology, to unsubscribe or to engage, loving your emails again. That's what I call this. So this was an interesting experience putting this little training together, because in the process of creating this training, I realized that I had combined a lot of groups on my email list that I had always considered opt-ins. Now, what opt-ins are people who have checked some kind of agreement that they will receive emails from your company. Now, I won't go into the backstory of how this happened, but I thought 375 people were opt-ins. Now, what I did is, as I started to prepare for this training, I realized that, my goodness, on HubSpot, which is it's called the CRM. It's the email platform. Something like MailChimp is a CRM. It's where you keep all your contacts and where you can send communications from, like targeted emails. I realized that the groups were all a combination of people who had supported me, people like trios groups, but through some kerfuffle, they all got checked as opt-ins and they were all being sent emails. So I had to restart everything, which, if you are a content creator and anybody who has an email list that you truly value, is a bit of a humbling experience, especially if you're a tech guy and you have the experience of being somebody who usually runs these for your clients. I had to just send out everybody with a new opt-in form. And I did it as gracefully as I could, but guess what? As you might expect, people only, I'd say about 25% became opt-ins again. So I've kind of almost started from scratch in a sense. Now, this was significant because what I'd like to share about today is a wonderful technique for loving your emails again and for understanding like when you're going to subscribe to something, when you're going to unsubscribe to something. And also how you're going to create a deeper connection. And by managing your email in this way I'm going to share, you're going to reduce tech in your life. And there's really a better way, and your relationship with your email, changing that is going to make such a huge difference. And email ecology, it's accomplished by this very simple technique. And it's something I'm going to share on screen, because even if you don't use Macintosh or Apple, no matter if you're using Outlook or any type of client, this is going to be something you're going to be able to use because all email clients really use this function. So let me dive right into this. I'm gonna preface this by let me just look over here, so make sure we're on time. I'm going to give us about 7 or 8 minutes to do this training because it's quite simple. It's almost on the level of a hack. And what this is about essentially, it's about a combination of setting boundaries and also bringing in mindfulness to your email practice. And when the way we do boundaries is we're going to be doing something involving using the rules of the email and using a folder system. And the way we also, create mindfulness is we're going to bring forth a context right now. And the context is this. You want to have a mindset where you look at each email and you think of the person that created this. You think of the person or company, which is a whole bunch of people. You just tune into the person to create this, and you check in with yourself to see if there's an inner alignment. And also, you allow yourself the idea, the concept that there's truly enough time to do what you need to do in your work life, in your work day, and in your life, your ultimate life. So you become aware of the person who is doing the communicating. You just connect with that person. And this is when you first get an email from a person. And you do this very quickly. It doesn't take time. Once you get a practice of this, it's a very quick process. You just connect with this person with love and attunement. And this is the first thing you do to bring forward discernment as to how you're going to create boundaries with this email. So something comes in, and instead of an automatic reaction of go buy it, we need to go buy it, we need to connect with all these other things, we need to hustle, we need to hurry, we need to, click. You actually take a second, you just connect with that. So that's a foundational thing. So you're thinking to yourself, oh, I don't have time to all these emails. Now, this is how we're going to navigate that. Let me go ahead and share my screen and pull this down so we can see our big, nice emails. So I'm probably in a different, you may see some of my emails, but what I want to draw your attention to is folders. So what we do is we create folders, and we create a whole system of folders that you can organize in terms of how you want to organize your emails. And each one of these folders, some of these are a little outdated, but I'm going to click on something that is actually in progress. My actionable folder. Now, this is something that I use for what are red flags. And as I go through my email, I will flag emails according to how I want to process them. A red flag is something that needs my attention. So I have a red flag. Now, what I have done is every time I get an email, I'm going to go to my inbox. I'm going to go to One Field Media. I'm going to take my filter off here. I'm just going to start at the top, right? Is Turn community. I'm going to start with this. Oh, I love the Turn community. So my attunement's already there. I want to be engaged with these emails. Now, however, I don't want them to show up in my inbox. And I'll show you how this works. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and click on mail or whatever your client tells you. You're going to go to settings, right? And you want to create a rule. And this is highlighted, so you highlight this, then you go ahead and click on rules. So add rule. So you notice that because this is highlighted, it already gives you a little default rule. And the default rule is the conditions that are met. It's from contains no reply.circle.so. So that is actually what that means is that this particular email, it comes from that source. Now, the challenge with this is that circle.so may have a lot of platforms that I want to receive. So I want to actually do I don't want to do a subject contains TURN. So if my subject line contains the word turn, or actually, let's do this. From, you can do from contains turn. So this is from the turn community. Then you move your message to a mailbox. And this is the mailbox that you created. So you create a turn community mailbox. I don't have one created, but I'll show you how to do that in a second. And you click OK. So we're not going to do this because I don't have a mailbox set. And that will allow it so that anytime a turn email comes, it's going to land in your folder. A lot of you are already kind of familiar with this. A lot of you are familiar with this process, but there's a little step here that I'm going to describe also. And this is a bit of a coaching. So to create a folder, you simply go up to here. This is a smart mailbox. And turn, and you can actually add the rule from here. From contains, turn. So actually, this is a one-step. Actually, this is a one-step that you can do. Turn. Wonderful. All right, you notice it already just grabbed everybody, but also notice it brought in Josh Turner's emails, which is somebody I'm on a list to. So you can go ahead and play with this. It's about setting the right rule. It's about doing the right email box. But here's the other part of this, is that once you've created a rule for each one of these, or depending on your attunements, you want to unsubscribe right away if this is something that you signed up for. And I wanted to speak a little bit about this. And this is a very powerful little tool. It's a slight digression, but this is a superpower tool to use, is when you sign up, when you have to add your email to get something you want, have an email that you just don't check. Like I have a Gmail that I've created and I never look at it. I never look at this Gmail. It's just in existence, gathering sends from people I don't care about or want, at least at the current time. So if you're signing up for things, just create a Gmail account that you're never going to check. And then all their sends will go to that. But if you have an attunement that you want to receive people's communications, go ahead and use an email that you are going to be connected with all the sends that you want to take time with. And then do that little trick with the rules on the mailbox. Now, here's the other side of this. And this is something I had to learn. And this is the final piece of this, is that the next thing you want to do is you want to schedule a time in your day to go to this email box and then to look at everything that's in it and then to make discernment as to what to engage with. And this is something, this final piece is what's overlooked, because if you are not engaging with something, I'd say within a month, depending on the sender and the content and how it may be relevant in your life, my advice is to do like Marie Kondo says when she holds up something. And do you still love it? Do you still wear it? Does it get use for it? If not, send it on its way. Go ahead and do the unsubscribe. So anyway, that's our little training on email ecology, and it's quite brief. And it may be things you already know, it may be something you've already kind of picked up on. But if not, I hope you got some value out of it.